to Lemon Tree Corner. If you don't know me, my name is Heather and I run a handmade business making bags and project bags for makers and crafters like yourself. So welcome to my channel. This week in the studio we are going to be working on the project bags that we've picked out all the fabrics for. Got the zippers for this one. I think I'll start with the squishy bag. So we've got all the zippers picked out and ready to go for that. And a big giant stack of fabric. So we will be working our way through this and ironing and cutting and getting all the pieces going. This is a pattern by Airae. It's really cute, squishy bag. Folds over, so it's got a zipper. And then you can work directly from the bag. You can either take it, fold it over, or just work directly with the zipper. Sometimes the yarn can get caught in the zipper, so that's why folding it over is a good idea, but not 100% necessary. Also this week I'm gonna show you some of my scrapbooking supplies. It's another craft that I'm very passionate about, and just got 2 new rolly carts. Joann's recently had a storage sale, and my rolly carts, they kind of flop over a lot and I can't really work from them. When I do scrapbooking, because I have so much going on in my house, I tend to only do scrapbooking when I'm going to an event. So whether that's a scrapbooking day or spending the day with my mom and my sister doing scrapbooking, we've also been doing craft Zoom calls during this whole pandemic time. So doing that, but I tend to do my sewing during those because I'm here in my own house. But all of my scrapbooking stuff is packed away, ready to take on the move. So I'm excited to transfer all my stuff into some more sturdy carts. The rolly carts are more like modern day luggage that has 4 wheels. So it's a lot sturdier, a really big space for all of my stuff, and I can work directly through that. So I can just bend down, flip through all my paper and get what I need, which is a lot better. And scrapbooking is really how I got into all of this fabric stuff, if you can imagine that. Scrapbook paper is a lot like fabric and patterns and colors. So it all kind of made sense to me when it came time to jump into the fabric of picking combinations that I liked. Scrapbooking is also a way to explore my creativity and put memories down. So it's just something I really enjoy doing. They had the whole digital scrapbooking thing, but as a graphic designer by trade, that kind of feels too much like work for me. So I enjoy cutting out the paper and the actual tactile experience of working with the materials. So I'd like to talk to you this week about, do you document everything you do? As a crafter, we tend to make things, and either it's something for Christmas that we take out every year and get to see, or a lot of the times we're making presents for other people, whether that's a baby blanket or a project for a relative, quilt for a relative. So just something that you're going to be giving away. And do you take a picture of that before it leaves your house? Do you document the process? What do you do to kind of solidify that memory of that item that you made? There's a lot of wonderful planning products out there. I know Lori Holt has a whole quilt planning book where you can write down everything and what fabrics you used, and that's great. I like to document that as well. But I also like to document just the process of making it, taking a picture of it with the person I'm giving it to, having someone take a picture of their baby with the blanket that I made is really sweet and something to cherish. So when I first started making the crochet blankets, what I would do is write down the supplies I used, like what pattern, what kind of yarn it is, what kind of pattern it is, and then I would put a picture on the other side. Now that one I think I had already made, and this one, like, I have a record of who I made the blanket for and who I gave it to. What else? And then for some of them, I actually kept a time log because blankets are something I want to sell. So I want to keep track of how long it takes me to make them. I also documented, the process of actually making a blanket, the squares, how I was going to lay everything out, how big they were, what colors they were. So just things like that. And when I first got into making the bags, the same thing. I'd write down what fabric I used. So this is before I had the little planning pages that I used. So it's just kind of a fun record of everything I made. As part of my business venture, I wanted to document the whole process of the business. So I'll take you on a tour of my scrapbook in a minute, but this is Never Stop Dreaming. I'm gonna try and film this, maybe take everything out of the protector sheets so it's not as bright and shiny, so you can actually see things. But I have a whole book from the beginning of when I was doing the aromatherapy and the craft fairs through to now, and writing out blog posts and getting the website shop up and running. And just like to document the wins, because they're all wins. These are all chances that I've taken and things that I've put out there into the world. And I really want to celebrate that. So we'll take a look. I'll give you a scrapbook tour of what I've put in so far. And I have a large list of things I need to put in because having done the website and now even the YouTube channel, I haven't documented all of that in there. So I'll be adding to this scrapbook at some point. I have a list of pictures that I need to print out and things like that. And I'd appreciate it if you could hit that like and subscribe button. That introduces me to more like-minded people such as yourself. So come on, let's take a tour down memory lane in my business scrapbook. Okay, so here is my scrapbook for my business so far. Never Stop Dreaming. I apologize, my neighbor is power washing his boat, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. So the whole concept for my business is really lemon flavored Dharma, and that comes from just having a positive attitude, trying to recover from the first business venture that didn't go so well, and trying to infuse what I do with the knowledge that it really is my Dharma. It's my purpose in life to create things, to make things. I am a maker. That's how I identify. That's what I want to do with my life. So being Lemon Tree Corner, it was really just a no-brainer for me to visualize it as lemon flavored Dharma. So kind of think of it as a nice, refreshing, sweet lemonade for the soul. A whole spark of an idea for this started a long time ago when I was working for a magazine company. I was a production coordinator for a magazine company. Each of us had several different magazines we worked on. One of the magazines that I got to help with was Hobby Farm Home. And it's a very cool magazine. You had chickens and people running their own lavender farms and things like that. Honey producers. And just kind of sparked my interest in maybe this is something I can do. Maybe I could have a handmade business. So that's kind of where it all began back in 2013. And part of the scrapbooking is really journaling. So that's included a lot in here. I have print covers of handmade business books. So I'm going to put on this spread the business books that I used. And then I have, ooh, that's very bright. So I have some history of how the name Lemon Tree Corner came about. When I worked at UC San Diego, sometimes I would drive home through Del Mar just to see the ocean. If you're stuck in traffic, you might as well be stuck looking at the ocean instead of the freeway. And there was a little strip mall, well, you know, Del Mar, fancy, so not quite a strip mall, a fancy mall called Lemon Tree Corner, which has since closed now. And that name always stuck with me, kind of like Winnie the Pooh. It kind of had that feeling. So I really love that name, and when it came time to start my business, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to be making or focusing on. You know, you pick a name like Heather's Aromatherapy, and you're kind of stuck making aromatherapy. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, or if it was going to turn into a boutique or something. So the name Lemon Tree Corner was nice and vague enough to be any product that I wanted to sell, but still gave the feeling that I wanted to have. And I've got lots of blank pages here. So the first few things that I did was really start a blog about my journey, different projects that I tried, like the teacup bird feeder was a fun one, and the aromatherapy book, buying fabrics for the neck pillows, what do I charge, so a lot of those kind of things. And then there's my first item on Etsy. Here are all of my bottles to fill for the first craft fair of all the linen sprays. And here's me at my first craft fair. It was a Halloween theme, so I'm wearing my witch shirt and had a whole layout. And thank you to my wonderful sister who came and helped me out. I can't tell you how reassuring it is to have another person with you at the craft fair. You can run to the restroom without feeling like somebody's going to take all your stuff. Helps you set up and tear down. And I'm very much an introvert, so my sister was the one that helped get people to come over, and especially the scent sampling station, explaining what that was and entering to win the raffle. So I really appreciated all of her extroverted help for the craft fairs. And here's one of my labels from one of my salt scrubs, and here's another one of the salt scrubs in the picture. And then there was the having to start over again, really regroup when the aromatherapy wasn't really going anywhere. What do I do now? Do I just give up on the whole thing? And a lot of personal growth and soul searching. I had a friend at the time that made these progress maps where you could fill in like habit tracker, progress tracker kind of thing. So these are all the things that I was doing to take care of myself during that time and really grieve the business that did not work. Here's one of the blankets that I made for my friend's baby shower. And then, I love this, if you only knew how much swearing was hooked into your hand crocheted gift. It's really true. And here's me trying different things, hats and different stitches that I still use. This is a basket weave stitch. That one's really fun. And then the thing that started the new chapter was taking that apron making class with my niece and just getting into all of that and looking at all of the fabric at the store. Another thing I was attempting to do for a while was make cards and sell them on Etsy. And here's one of my coloring pages. I really love doing these. And a pot holder idea that didn't quite work out. I'm sure I would be better at it now knowing what I know about piecing quilts together. So I might try that. I still have that pattern. And then another one of the progress keepers, my summer of creativity. So that whole summer I would fill in a swirl each time I did a creative project. And something else that I would love to make in the future are cute monster dolls. That's something I would love to do. And there's one of the first bags that I made on my own. And me at craft fair. Me making, oh, that's the coffee scrub that I'm making there. It's not brownies. And then the bag making class that I took at the same store. So here's my first bag fabrics that I chose. and learning that my skills as a sewist were not necessarily bad because of my skills, but also because of the machine I was using. We got to use these fancy Berninas as part of the class. So that was definitely a step up and improved my sewing game, which made me feel a lot more confident that it wasn't just me that was messing up. And there's my first bag, and I had already bought the fabric for my second bag and my third bag at the same time. So part of that lemon flavored Dharma we were talking about is starting over. And kind of a schedule of being accountable for things that I wanted to do, which included visualization of my future and how to expand my idea of abundance, reading a book or doing a tutorial, going on a walk, having exercise, and then doing all the normal chores that you have to do in life. And just some of the blog posts that I did. Oh, I was like, and that's it. No, it's not. So more of the blog posts, and here's some of my work. I love this shirt. I am a huge Trekkie, so I love that. And just all the projects that I worked on, getting to know how to sew and all the skills that I need to sew. And here's a bunch of patterns that I have bought and made. And just documenting the process of most of the bags that I've made. And here's one that I did. It was a quilt as you go, or piece as you go bag, and setting up all my fabric within the hutch to keep it clean. And the new machine, the wonderful Juki TL 2010, which is the best machine ever. And then here's me working on one of the quilted bag patterns. And I think that's it. So that's as far as I've gotten, and that was really just the first year. So I've got lots of pages to fill from here on out, and I look forward to doing it. Okay, on to the next thing. Well, folks, that's it for another vlog. We got pretty productive this week. I have a total of 9 project bags cut out and ready to go. For the one with the hearts in the hands, I decided to make another one with that as the exterior fabric, but I need to wait for some cork to come in. I decided to order some red cork to go with that. And I also used up the last of the glitter vinyl for my turquoise. In the same place I get the cork from, she has a turquoise one. So I think I'm going to try that and see if that'll work for the other project pattern that we're doing later on. So next week, which basically starts tomorrow, I'm going to hit the ground running with sewing these up and getting those going. And then a couple of weeks from now, we're going on a trip. So this will turn into a travel vlog for that week. We're going up to the Oregon coast. Our friends have been nice enough to loan us a week at their condo. So I'm hoping it's not going to rain the whole time, but I am prepared in case it does. A lot of driving. I haven't been on the Oregon coast and seen all the lighthouses since I was in college. So that'll be a really fun trip for us. And I'll take you guys along, of course. So instead of a sewing vlog that week, it'll be a travel vlog. So that'll be interesting. And just like showing you guys my scrapbook. I hope you'll consider doing something like that if you aren't already doing it. And not just keeping track of the type of fabric or yarn that you use, but really putting some pictures in there. Maybe some journaling about the person that you made it for. You know, why did you make the item? And then just celebrating those wins, because that's something that you put out there into the world, you gave to somebody. Maybe you made a prayer shawl for somebody who's going through a medical problem. Maybe you make those for church as part of your service. So it's just nice to have those memories. I wish my grandma had done that more. I have pictures of her with her craft booth at the senior center and everything, but I don't really know like what projects did she like working on. There's no journaling, there's no photographs that she took. They're just photographs that I took as a kid. So nice to hand that down and have your children or grandchildren, or in my case, nieces and nephews, look at those, and just a record of the things that you spent time on then, the things that you love to do. So I hope that you join me in that, even if it's a little like 6x6, 8x8 scrapbook. It doesn't have to be a big giant thing that you do. And the scrapbook paper is so pretty. How can you resist? Okay, so let's wrap it up, Heather. I'd love to hear what you're working on. What are you reading? What are you listening to? Anything for me? I've got a lot of driving to do that week that we're on the trip. My husband and I listened to a great Neil Gaiman book on audiobook last time we did that, and we were in the car for a long time driving all the way up the California coast. So I'd love to find a book that is entertaining, that we can listen to together in the car maybe. Just keep us engaged while we're driving for that long. So if you have any suggestions of wonderful audiobooks, we tend to like fantasy fiction or YA stuff, especially if somebody does a lot of cool voices like Harry Potter. He does a lot of cool voices in that. So would love your suggestions for that, and would love to hear what you're working on. And I hope that the rest of your week or weekend or whenever you're watching this is a good one, and you have some time to enjoy the crafts and the people in your life. So see you next week. Bye, everybody.